This is RTV6 News at Noon, working for you.
It's not officially winter yet, but we set 3 records for winter-like weather in the last 24 hours, and that deep freeze, it's not over yet. Thanks for joining us this midday. I'm Lauren Casey with Todd Clausen. We want to get right to the numbers, Todd. This is not what we were expecting in November, especially after that hot October.
Yeah, after we have one single number there, that's not something that we need, but we were in the single digits this morning in many locations, and we'll probably be there once again. So what's the significance of 8 degrees this morning? Well, it's the coldest temperature this early in the fall season that we have on record. We say the fall season, right, because we were in the single digits earlier this year back in the winter season, but this is the earliest in the fall season we have ever gotten down into the single digit. It smashed the record low temperature for the day today. That was 14 degrees, set all the way back in 1911. So this is really rare air that's in place this early in the fall and in November for central Indiana. And even with sunshine out there, look where we stand right now. 16 in Greencastle and Indy. It's 18 in Bloomington. 17 is the current temperature in Tipton. Thankfully, we have the sunshine and not a whole lot of wind out there, but we're not really melting any snow away. But if you are going to be out and about throughout the remainder of the day, we're traveling in northern Indiana, there's some lake effect snows. They will not make it here into central Indiana. So everybody has snow on the ground. Everybody enjoys sunshine throughout the day. Only about 23 degrees for your high temperature. We quickly fall back down into the teens once the sun sets, and by tomorrow morning, potentially another record low in the single digits. More on that coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. And here is why we ask you to be careful on slick roads. It may sound like a broken record, but check out these pictures posted by Carmel Police Department today. Officers say that a pickup truck was traveling southbound on 3rd Avenue South, but was driving too fast for those conditions. The truck skidded off the road and into this retention pond. Luckily, all the people inside the truck were able to get out and they were not hurt, but it is a reminder to all of us to always be mindful on the roads with conditions like this through the winter weather. And a lot of students got a little bit of extra sleep this morning. Many school districts had those 2-hour delays for the start of classes today, and a handful of districts ended up canceling classes altogether. Indianapolis Public Schools did not delay class today, so kids and parents that did have to get up early to catch the bus had to truly bundle up for the first time this school year.
First, no. We're out here freezing. My eyeballs are frozen.
Well, as Todd told us, the school districts, they're going to have to make a call on delays or cancellations again tomorrow morning. And of course, we'll be here keeping you updated. But if you do have to go out, you want to make sure that you're prepared just in case of an emergency, and that means having an emergency kit in your car. You'll need things like a flashlight with extra batteries, a charged cell phone, an extra cell phone charger, a basic first aid kit, extra clothes, and a blanket or 2, an ice scraper, and jumper cables. And this winter-like weather is just in time for Winter Weather Preparedness Week here in Indiana. Storm Team 6 is helping you to prepare for whatever winter will bring us this season. You can watch our special report, Weathering Winter in Indiana, at 8 o'clock tonight. That's only here on RTV6. Well, this midday, Metro Police are looking into a homicide that happened overnight on the city's south side near Garfield Park. Officers were called out to Garfield Terrace Apartments on Shelby Street just after 3 o'clock this morning. When officers arrived, they found a man lying unconscious inside a common area of those apartments. Witnesses tell police that they heard an argument shortly before the man was found, and police say they do not believe that the man lived in that apartment building. RTV6 has been working for people who live in this mobile home park on the southeast side. Today, their battle will move to a courtroom. In August, people living at the I-70 mobile home park told that they had to move their mobile homes or they would be torn down. Well, Attorney General Curtis Hill sued the owners of the complex, Blue Lakes Incorporated, last month. A restraining order granted by a judge allows residents to stay in their homes at least until a court hearing. Residents like Jeff Melton say they have a simple request.
Well, to be honest with you, and I'm not going to lie, I hope that we get a little more of an extension and that the courts, they have a little compassion for us, because here it is now, it's the holidays coming up. You got Thanksgiving, you've got Christmas, and here it is now, it's snowing. So, and you can't move a mobile home in the snow. They won't do it.
Well, the hearing between Blue Lakes Incorporated and the Attorney General's office is scheduled for just under 2 hours from now in Marion Superior Court. We'll let you know what happens right on the RTV6 app. Now to breaking news this midday from the Supreme Court. Today, the court ruled that a lawsuit against the maker of the gun used in the Sandy Hook school shooting in Connecticut can move forward. The Supreme Court rejected an appeal from gun maker Remington. The company is being sued by a survivor of the 2012 shooting, as well as relatives of the 26 people who were killed. Also before the Supreme Court today, the case challenging President Trump's decision to end the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, known as DACA, that protects hundreds of thousands of undocumented immigrants who were brought into the U.S. as children. It allows them to work legally here in the States. ABC's Inez de la Cutera is outside the Supreme Court with more.
The fate of more than 700,000 young immigrants at stake.
DACA is under attack!
As the High Court hears cases challenging President Trump's decision to end the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program known as DACA. The Obama-era program applies to those who were brought to the U.S. as children but lack permanent legal status, and it temporarily protects those who qualify from deportation to the native countries of their parents, in most cases, places they've never really known.
The DACA kids, all they want to do is become Americans.
Trump tried to end DACA in 2017 before several lower courts blocked his decision, arguing his rationale didn't add up. Now the nation's highest court will consider whether the president has a right to end the program and whether the administration followed the rules to end it.
It's overwhelmed because we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if the decision is going to be in favor.
President Trump weighing in on Twitter this morning, writing, "Many of the people in DACA, no longer very young, are far from angels. Some are very tough, hardened criminals. However, felons and people convicted of significant misdemeanors are not eligible for DACA." And data from the Pew Research Center shows a vast majority of so-called dreamers are 25 years old or younger and employed. 62% of those not working are enrolled in school. People like Juan, who was brought here when he was just 2.
And my entire culture is dedicated to the American way and the American dream.
With President Trump appointing 2 new justices to the bench, Neil Gorsuch and Brett Kavanaugh, the court has a 5-4 conservative majority. Many here looking to Chief Justice John Roberts as the swing vote, since he said in the past he wants the court to be seen as apolitical. A decision in this case is expected by June. Inez de la Cutera, ABC News at the Supreme Court.
We're coming up on time when we think more about helping those in need, and they need a meal. Today, 1 Million Meals is bringing together a group of people that will eventually end up in some grateful hands. This is the 9th year for Million Meal Marathon. It's a signature event of the Million Meal Movement organization here in Indy. Hundreds of people came together today at Lucas Oil Stadium to put those meals together, including dozens of young volunteers.
Security is big in Indiana. 1 in 5 people are hungry in our state. That's well over 1 million people. And this event will help the food pantries that are in the state of Indiana.
This year, the movement expects to reach a major milestone. They expect to pack and prepare their 30 millionth meal. Pretty awesome. Consumer advocates say it is a scam with a holy twist. Next, a warning about an online shopping site that isn't keeping its faithful promises. Todd.
And Lauren, the sun is shining here across central Indiana, but the winter chill continues. Teens and 20s at this noon hour anywhere you go across the area, and the snow is on the ground as well. We're going back into the single digits tonight before a warm-up finally heads our way. We'll talk all about it in your Storm Team 6 forecast. You're watching the news at noon right here on RTV6.
The Connors, new tonight on ABC.
Time now for an RTV6 Consumer Alert. Joining me in the studio today is Tim Maniscalco with the Better Business Bureau. Tim, we have another online retailer scam alert that people need to know about.
Yeah, you know, we've talked a lot about online retailing, and there are a number of risky sorts of websites out there. This is one that we're really kind of zeroing in on. It's called Zero Origin, and they sell things like precious gemstones, gold and silver coins, even some religious-based sorts of items, things like that. And we just have not had very good response at all. People get their items and they say that they're poor quality. For instance, they'll say that it's a 24-karat gold, and it's not that of that quality. Customer service is very poor. They just haven't been very responsive responsive at all and trying to work out their complaints, that type of thing. So we're just telling people to be very, very careful of this retailer. And really, this is just one of a lot of different retailers out there. So shopping online, it's a great way to do it, but you've got to be careful. So a couple of things. Number one, research the reputation, bbb.org. We've got a lot of good information. This particular company does have an F rating, but go to bbb.org and you can look up a lot of different companies out there. It's always best to pay with your credit card. That has the most protection, and so if you can always pay with your credit card, that's always the best way to do it. Save a copy of all of your confirmations, your receipts, those types of things, so that you do have a record of what's gone on, and just review the privacy policies and things like that. Because once again, if you give these people your information, boy, who knows what's going to happen to it. So most companies are very legitimate out there. They're going to protect all of your information, but there are those that don't.
All right, Tim, thank you so much. This has been an RTV6 Consumer Alert. And it isn't just here. It was bitter cold for about 200 million Americans today. Coming up, what caused this deep freeze from in the east to the Midwest and also parts of the South. We'll be right back.
491-6644.
Good afternoon, I'm Ted Rollins. Prosecutors in Tallahassee, Florida say DNA evidence and cell phone records prove that a suspected quadruple murderer is guilty, but there's also evidence that it could have been a drug cartel. Henry Segura is facing the death penalty for the brutal murders of his 3-year-old son, his ex-girlfriend, 27-year-old Brandy Peters, and her 6-year-old twin girls. Segura, who lied about his whereabouts the day of the murders, is expected to testify as early as this week. He's expected to tell the jury that he was lying to cover up his infidelity, not because he killed anyone. Another expected witness for the defense, Carlos Santos, a drug trafficker who claims he ordered the murders because Brandy Peters had stolen from his cartel.
Mr. Santos will testify in this trial. Mr. Santos will admit to you that he ordered the murders, that he orchestrated the murders.
This is the second trial for Segura. In 2017, a jury was unable to come to a unanimous decision, voting 8-4 in favor of acquittal. We'll have live courtroom testimony from Tallahassee throughout the day. Now back to you.
And you can learn more about other court cases all around the nation right now by visiting courttv.com. Well, the deep freeze was not only impacting Indiana today. There was record cold and snow from the plains to the northeast. ABC's meteorologist Rob Marciano is in the frigid Syracuse, New York.
Winter has certainly arrived. Cold front pushing across New York and across the east is dropping temperatures. Brought some decent snows here in Syracuse. No stranger to snow, but typically they get big, fat, lake effect snow that piles up quickly. This is kind of your more dense early season snow that feels more like ice underfoot. And it's been dangerous driving across the snow zone. Some of the accidents across the Midwest into the Mid-South, pretty remarkable. Out of Missouri, there was a car that spun off the roadway through a fence and was left dangling off the side of a cliff. Firefighters were able to get save that particular passenger. Tractor trailers were spinning through icy conditions in interstates across parts of Pennsylvania. And at Chicago O'Hare, we had a plane skid off the runway there. Luckily, they were able to get all the passengers there off safely. But already hundreds of flights delayed or canceled on this Tuesday, and many more to come, no doubt about that. And not everybody's going to get a lot of snow with this. The big story is the cold air. They've done a pretty good job here in downtown Syracuse of clearing the roads as the snow came down, but now temperatures are dropping and dropping quickly. By this time tomorrow morning, we could be temperatures that were actually below the 0-degree mark, and that is mid-January like cold. So a record-breaking cold snap that's really taking over the eastern two-thirds of the country. Rob Marciano, ABC News, Syracuse, New York.
All right, and back here at home in central Indiana, Todd, it kind of looks like that. We've got snow on the ground, and it is cold here.
Yeah, you know, Rob was talking about it. The big story is the cold. We set records here in central Indiana for the cold this morning. Yesterday, we had record snowfall with 2.8 inches. But again, the big talker, not so much the snow. You can get it this time of year. It's this cold. 6 degrees this morning in Crawfordsville, 9 in Anderson, 8 in Indianapolis. That was significant, as we talked about earlier. It's the coldest Indianapolis has ever been in in the single digits this early in the fall season. And there's the potential maybe tomorrow morning to get even colder than that. But the sun is shining all across central Indiana. I love this shot with the snow and the city skyline in the background. And you can see them setting up the lights there for the light parade that they have there inside the track to come the Christmas season. 16 degrees. That's the current temperature. A little bit of a wind out there, but it's in the process of dying down. So that is the good news going forward. But look at these temperatures. If this was mid-January, this would be cold for us. But here it is mid-November, 13 in Crawfordsville, 18 right now in Bloomington, 17 in Greenfield, Richmond at 16 degrees. You factor in that wind chill values are in the single digits anywhere you go to one below in the Terre Haute area. So you really need to bundle up. Try to limit your time outdoors. If you're going to be out for a while, make sure you really bundle up. Temperatures are going to be in the 20s for your afternoon highs. Now, as far as any snow goes, everybody's enjoying sunshine for the most part. However, as we go here into northern Indiana, for those of you in Peru, over into Marion, down into Hartford City and Huntington, you're seeing a little more in the way of clouds, and it's not out of the question you see a few snow showers. These are all drifting in off of Lake Michigan. They're lake effect enhanced snow showers, so don't be shocked, especially if your travels take you up 69 today. You run into some of those snow showers, but otherwise clear skies. Those clear skies tonight allow the temperatures to tumble. We're in the teens throughout the evening hours, 13 degrees by the time we get to 11 p.m. And then overnight tonight, we're looking at temperatures back down into the single digits across the area. So it's a real cold start. Tomorrow, the record low for tomorrow is 10 degrees, set back in 1986, potentially going to break that. And then throughout the rest of the day tomorrow, we'll start to warm it up a little bit with sunshine. Temperatures tomorrow get back up into the 30s, and then we'll see high temperatures each and every day, warm a little bit, but still stay well below the normal high of 54 degrees. We're near 40 by Friday, into the 40s for the weekend, and then finally back close to 50 degrees by the time we get to Monday. The one thing you do not see in there is any precipitation. So it's all about the temperatures here, Lauren, the next couple days. Otherwise, we'll have plenty of sunshine.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Well, when we come back here on the News at Noon, it's time for the Pet of the Week. I want you to meet Pert Reynolds. And if you're getting a look at him there, you can see why that's his name. We'll show you how you can make Pert part of your forever family. That's coming up after the break.
Those free windows will really cost you.
All right, Gabby Hoyt from the Humane Society of Indianapolis is with us with our Pet of the Week. And today we have, I don't even know how to describe, his name is Pert Reynolds because he has a mustache. And he's been the most inquisitive animal, whether it's been a dog or a cat we've had. He's been all over the studio, and now he's just laying on the ground. Hey, Pert, we want to see your mustache. Come over here. But Pert is an older cat. He's 10 years old,
yes,
right?
10 years old.
As you can see, he kind of just wants to be the main cat in the household. So just tell us a little about Pert.
Okay, so November is actually Adopt a Senior Pet Month. So this would be a perfect time to bring Pert Reynolds home. He is 10 years old. He's been in and out of the shelter since 2013. Each time that he has returned, it's been for reasons that are not really his fault. There's been allergies in the home, or owners are moving across the country. So we are really looking for somewhere that he can live out his golden years and forever home. He loves sitting in laps, playing with wand toys. He's obsessed with treats.
And here you can see his mustache right there. And so he's been in and out of shelters, so people might think there might be something wrong with him, but that's definitely not the case.
No,
he's
an awesome boy.
Fully healthy cat, and he's just kind of been dealt a bad hand with some of his previous owners. And you can see he's just all over the place. He's an active cat. And how much would his adoption fee be?
He has $50, and that includes a spay, neuter, microchip, vaccines, and all that good stuff.
All right, well, Pert, we're hoping to get you a good forever home here. He's definitely a fun cat, and I think he could be a great addition to your home. If you think so, head to the Humane Society, and he'll be there later on this afternoon. I'm just sitting there. All right. Outside right now, it is cold, lots of sunshine, 23 degrees. We warm up a little bit throughout the course of the week with the sunshine. No snow in our forecast, but be aware, tomorrow is another very, very cold morning. Most of us will be waking to temperatures in the single digits. Finally, getting close to normal, which is near 54 degrees by Monday of next week.
All right, we'll be checking on those school delays, Todd, in Good Morning Indiana. Okay, thank you for joining us and making RTV6 your choice for news. We hope you stay warm and have a great afternoon.